And you know, this is the greatest thing in the world because everybody has a smartphone, and the president and all of his tribe can tweet and they can see.
Right, that's the whole problem. The fact that he's a black man, that he's trying to
that could be, hey, that could.
All right, this is a great. All right, this is a great time to go to another audience member question. Sir.
Tax the 1%, you get a water for.
All right, please tell us who you are, where you're from, and what is your question?
Anthony Nguyen, I'm from Pflugerville, and I want to thank KI for putting on this. I think this is a very important topic. Healthcare costs is very high, has been increasing next to the rising cost of tuition. We need to address this. So I think it's good that the government has tried to address this. I've stayed informed on it. I've tried to read the bills, 2,000 pages, tried to keep an open mind on this. But what I can't understand is how does the Affordable Care Act make health care affordable? There's a lot of benefits, a lot of things that we all want, but it doesn't seem to lower costs in any way. It just provides a lot of benefits without, I don't know, what key provisions in it does it have to actually lower costs?
Is there a specific group you have in mind? You're talking about the people who don't have insurance or people who currently have insurance? Is it affecting their cost?
Well, everybody in general. We hear every year that costs continue to increase. And from what I read, it's about an insurance plan. It's reforming insurance. It doesn't reduce the cost. It just gets everybody into the insurance plan, and it's an insurance company's dream. Let's get more people on it. But it doesn't seem to lower the cost. Unless doctors are willing to take less, how does it lower costs? My fiance used to work in a doctor's office. They had 3 costs, one for insurance, one without insurance, and Medicaid. And maybe the doctor can agree. Why do they have 3 costs for the same thing? Why can't we address the cost directly instead of giving more benefits? And what does it do to lower costs? It's called affordable, but it doesn't seem like anything in the bill makes it more affordable. Everything is pre-existing conditions. That's great, but it's going to cost more. Having your kids go on to college at 26, it's going to cost more, right? What does it do to lower the cost?
And Regina, I think you started talking about some of this earlier. Are we fixing the symptom and not the real problem? Because you've all each addressed transparency and costs and so forth. Is the whole insurance issue really not the heart of the problem, but the actual cost of medical care today?
We could fix the cost problems. We could make healthcare much more cost effective. We could have cost transparency and all of those things, and we would not necessarily ever get to that goal of making it affordable for the people who can't afford it. So they are 2 different things. You're absolutely right, and you have to do them both. The Affordable Care Act takes a bunch of gigantic steps towards trying to get healthcare costs under control. But I know you brought some of these experts here to speak, and then we've got, I think Professor Richardson could probably speak to some of that if you want to get a better answer than I can give you. There's a ton of the Affordable Care Act that's addressed to that. So I don't know.
All right, well, where's Professor Richardson? Professor Richardson, come on over here for a moment. We're going to get you into this. Looks like I'm losing my job as moderator, by the way. Sure. Step on over here. We're going to make this a happy family. So you got any thoughts on this?
Yeah, sure. So most of the bill, the bulk of the bill, is getting more coverage to people. So it's getting care to people, getting insurance. There are some things that are aimed at reducing costs. So, for example, we have accountable care organizations, which is changing the way Medicare is paying care for people rather than paying every episode, every time you go to the hospital. There are accountable care organizations that are paid to take care of someone, and if they can keep you out of the hospital, then they get to reduce the costs that way and keep profits. So there are some parts of the bill that are aimed at reducing costs.
But the bulk of the bill
is
benefits.
The bulk of the bill is trying to reduce the number of uninsured people in the population. Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of my favorite cost-saving provisions in there is the one that they've started doing where hospitals get dinged if they just discharge you and send you home and they don't make a good enough plan for keeping you healthy after you go home. They get dinged, and so they are going to get dinged for so-called potentially preventable readmissions. So I think those are some of the kinds of examples of what's happening.
An intended consequence of that might be that they keep you there longer in the first place. So I think
The hospitals support this act, I would point out.
I don't doubt that.
And one of the reasons they don't want to keep you there a long time is because of the potential staph infection.
They can't handle you and I probably would have a lot to agree on things we'd like to change about hospitals, but the bottom line is they can't continue to do business, particularly in Texas, with 1 in 4 people walking through the door uninsured. It's just not sustainable.
But, we have got to come to grips with the fact that the federal government has been the cornucopia of money for everybody. It's, and Congress